This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. The Waco History Podcast is sponsored by Brotherwell Brewery on historic Bridge Street in Waco.
Welcome to the Waco History Podcast. We're going to air for you over the next few months a special series of Waco History Living Stories. These were segments that were originally aired on KWBU here in Waco. They were produced by the Institute for Oral History editor, Michelle Holland, and narrated by two fabulous narrators, Louis Maze and Kim Patterson. And so these highlight oral histories from the collection of the Institute for Oral History at Baylor University, which I direct, which has been around since 1970 and has over 1,000 interviews related to Waco and McLennan County history, and we're happy to highlight those here.
Cross the Brazos at Waco, ride hard and I'll make it by dawn.
As you listen in and the temperature may have hit triple digits, let's listen to these stories from Living Stories about water and beach activities to cool off during the summertime.
Then the night came alive with gunfire. He knew that at last it'd been.
This is Living Stories, featuring voices from the collections of the Baylor University Institute for Oral History. I'm Kim Patterson. During the scorching months of a Texas summer, there's nothing quite so refreshing as playing in the water or at its edge. Wilma Bunton of Houston lived for 5 years in Galveston as a child. She recalls a favorite summer activity.
We would go to the beach, and we called it bathing. My aunt brought her bathing suit. It was one of those old-fashioned, looked like a short skirt, and had 3 rows of white braid around the bottom. It came just below her knees. She had black stockings that went up above her knees, and bloomers were under there.
Doesn't sound real comfortable.
No, she had bathing shoes on. And then she had a bathing cap, as it was called, that looked like a dust cap. And if she had fallen down in the water, we wouldn't have been able to save her. But the ladies at that time didn't swim. They even had puff sleeves, of all things, so that would fill up with water, too. But we'd go down and we'd beachcomb. Early in the morning, it's easy to find the shells, and you can even find the sand dollars that are not broken. Mm-hmm. And if you pick them up carefully, you can have the whole sand dollars. So we'd beachcomb a while, and then we'd bathe a while, and then the water made us so hungry till we couldn't wait to get home and get a bath. And my mother always had a good breakfast for us.
Martha Howe of Waco remembers her summers at Oak Point, or Lacey Point, on the old Lake Waco.
Everybody loved sailing. My father went to Culver and was in the naval school, and Papa bought the boys a sailboat, and then Papa also bought them a wooden hackercraft speedboat, and so they water skied. And then over on the town side, that would be the east side, Papa had put pea gravel out into the lake so that you wouldn't get that old squishy mud between your toes. And I remember I was in diapers, and we would swim there, and it had big cottonwood trees all around it, so it was shady, and it was wonderful. It was kind of like a little beach, but it was with Lake Waco water. And Daddy taught us how to swim there. We had piers out into the lake. We had a wonderful person that worked for us named Sherman. He would fish on one of the piers, so we called it Sherman's Pier. Okay. But we would swim from the pier, and we had a canoe, and we had a speedboat. And so, yeah, we definitely took advantage of it. But that was when the lake was small.
Texas offers 15 major rivers, more than 150 lakes, and a Gulf Coast to consider for summer activities. The Texas Parks and Wildlife website provides recreation suggestions and safety tips for these locations at tpwd.state.tx.us.
Thanks for listening to the Waco History Podcast. Like what you heard? Subscribe, rate, and review our show on iTunes so we can reach more listeners. You can find show notes and info on every episode at wacohistorypodcast.com, and more info on Waco's past at wacohistory.org. Our theme music, used with permission, is Cross the Brazos at Waco, performed by the late Billy Walker. For more info on Billy's music, go to billywalker.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
When I reach San Antonio.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.